Meet Sarah and David. Both of them are professional bakers. Both of them run identical, high-end artisanal bakeries. Their menus are the same, their recipes are the same, and they both work agonizing 80-hour weeks sweating over industrial ovens. Ironically, their businesses are equally popular. At the end of every month, both Sarah and David look at their systems and see the exact same number: $45,000 in gross revenue. To any regular customer walking through their doors, both of these owners are living the ultimate entrepreneurial dream. But behind the scenes, their financial realities could not be more different. In New York City, Sarah is quietly drowning. She hasn't paid herself a single dollar in salary for the past 6 months. Her personal credit cards are completely maxed out to cover short-term operational expenses, and she is exactly one slow month away from permanent bankruptcy. 700 miles away in Columbus, Ohio, David is absolutely thriving. He comfortably pays himself a 6-figure annual salary, drives a brand new truck paid for by the business, and is currently scouting commercial real estate to open his second location. They generate the same revenue, they sell the same bread. So why is one baker building a generational empire while the other is trapped in a financial nightmare? The answer has nothing to do with talent, marketing, or product quality. The answer is pure geography. Welcome to the hidden math of location arbitrage. To understand why Sarah is failing and David is winning, we have to look at the single biggest killer of physical brick-and-mortar businesses: the commercial lease. To generate $45,000 a month in baked goods, both bakeries require a modest 1,500 square feet of space to fit their kitchen equipment, display cases, and a small seating area for customers. In Manhattan, prime retail space averages roughly $120 per square foot annually. That means Sarah's base rent is $15,000 every single month. Before she buys a single bag of flour, before she turns on the ovens, and before she serves her very first customer, 33% of her total revenue belongs entirely to her landlord. In the world of retail economics, spending more than 15% of your revenue on rent is considered dangerous. Spending 33% is financial suicide. Now look at David's numbers in Ohio. In a bustling, high-foot traffic suburb of Columbus, premium commercial space costs just $24 per square foot annually. David's monthly rent comes out to exactly $3,000. That is just over 6% of his gross revenue. While Sarah starts every month $15,000 in the hole, David only needs to clear $3,000 to satisfy his landlord. Right out of the gate, geography grants David a $12,000 monthly head start. To survive this brutal gap, Sarah can't just rely on selling more bread. She is forced to manipulate her pricing, which leads to the next major problem: product positioning. Because of her astronomical rent, Sarah has to price her signature almond croissant at $9.50. To a tourist, it feels like an elite premium New York experience. To Sarah, it's a desperate mathematical necessity. Meanwhile, in Ohio, David can price his identical croissant at just $4.50. At $4.50, a croissant is an easy, thoughtless daily impulse buy for a regular customer. David can play a high-volume game, while Sarah is forced to chase high-margin luxury buyers. But here is the geographical twist that most aspiring entrepreneurs completely miss. Raw material ingredients cost almost exactly the same across the country. A 50-pound bag of high-quality organic flour costs about $45, whether a distributor drops it off at a loading dock in Manhattan or a parking lot in the Midwest. Supply chains are standardized, meaning Sarah doesn't get a discount on ingredients just because her rent is higher. Instead, her high prices create a dangerous trap: elevated customer expectations. Because New York customers are paying nearly $10 for a pastry, they demand absolute perfection. One slightly overbaked batch or an unsmiling employee will trigger a devastating 1-star review on Google or Yelp, instantly damaging her brand. In Ohio, customers paying $4.50 view David as a friendly neighborhood staple. If a batch is slightly imperfect, the community forgives him because his bakery is an affordable, welcoming part of their daily routine. If the rent disparity wasn't enough to sink the New York bakery, the second silent killer takes over: the labor burden. A 1,500 square foot bakery cannot be operated by a single person. You need counter staff to handle cash registers, dishwashers to keep the kitchen clean, and assistant bakers to manage the dough. In New York City, local labor laws, high minimum wage floors, and the extreme cost of living means Sarah has to pay her basic counterstaff at least $18 an hour. A skilled head baker easily commands $30 to $35 an hour. On top of that, New York state and city payroll taxes, mandatory workers' compensation, and local health care mandates inflate her true labor cost by an additional 20%. In Ohio, the local labor market operates under completely different rules. David can easily hire enthusiastic local college students for part-time counterwork at $13 an hour, which provides them with excellent spending money for the area. His skilled head baker earns $22 an hour, a wage that allows for a highly comfortable lifestyle, a rental home, and a low cost of living in Columbus. David commands intense employee loyalty at a fraction of the cost. When the month ends, both owners sit down to calculate their final net profit margins. This is where the illusion of revenue completely shatters. Sarah takes her $45,000 of revenue and subtracts $15,000 for rent. She subtracts $20,000 for payroll taxes, and insurance. She subtracts $7,000 for raw ingredients, packaging, electricity, and gas. After accounting for credit card processing fees and minor equipment maintenance, Sarah is left with a net profit margin of -2%. She is actively losing money to stay in business. She has built a beautiful, high-end prison where she works 80 hours a week for free, just to pay her landlord and her staff. But look at David. David takes his $45,000 of revenue and subtracts just $3,000 for rent. He subtracts $10,000 for his payroll. He subtracts $7,000 for ingredients and utilities. After accounting for his minor overhead expenses, David is left with a clean, remarkable 24% net profit margin. Every single month, $10,800 of pure, unrestricted personal profit drops directly into his bank account. The ultimate lesson of Main Street entrepreneurship is clear. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and location dictates reality. It is far better to be a big fish in an affordable pond than a starving shark in a glamorous, hyper-competitive ocean. If you want to unlock the secret financial math behind more everyday businesses, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. See you in the next breakdown.